Alright, first time trying to record one of these, so bear with me. Hopefully I can catch some editing and time lapse everything. Get this all kind of cleaned up for you. So first things first, what we want to do is take a look at what we got to work with, how I approach pretty much any project. Definitely not keeping this. This is just funky. Alright, so what we're looking at here is a leather seat, wood chair, and it looks like, let's turn it over. Okay, so typical stretch cowhide, not sure if y'all can see this or not, but what they did is a single piece of hide, either cowhide, maybe deer hide, I don't know, and they got it wet, and they stretched it around the frame and reinforced it with these other leather strips here, kind of in a crisscross pattern to get good and tight. And then as it dried is what would make it kind of seat nice and be a firm seat. Unfortunately, they never put anything on the leather over the years to kind of keep it together. So let's go ahead and get all this old stuff out. And again, it's so stiff and it's so old that I'm not going to reuse any of this. So, try to do this without cutting myself open. I'll tell you, that stuff is tough. Alright, you got all that removed. Now all I have left is this jumbled knot here in this corner, and then this over here in this corner. So I'm going to do my best to kind of cut that without cutting the rest of the hide. Now that I've got all straps cut, all these sides are now free. The bad part is, I didn't realize it, but when I was working with it, this part broke away from the rest of the skin. So, when you look at it up here, it's going to be hard for me to make any kind of a pattern using this. But this will at least give us a look at our frame and see what we can get. But you can even see on here, there's some fur left from the hide before it got all smoothed out and polished up. And then just over the years it dried up. So, I'll get a new one going. Now that I can actually see the framework of the chair with the legs, the stills, I can kind of wiggle it around some. And I've got some loose joints. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some dimensions here and then write them down and see what I can do about making a new seat. Okay, now, what I'm probably going to do, because of how old this chair is and its propensity to wiggle, is I'm going to go ahead and take the whole thing apart. But before I do that, because each of these has been in here so long and it's so specific, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not square. So what we have going on is you can see, not at this contour, but here where the square meets up with the base of the leg, it kind of goes in a little bit. And it does that on both sides. Comes up, hits the square, and then cuts back in. For a little bit more dramatic, so you can really see what I'm talking about. There we go. So the leg comes up, touches the square, and then goes back in. Now it also does it, we should really be able to see this, it also does the same thing from the front. So the front leg actually leans way back. Now, this doesn't look like it's because it's loose. It's doing that because it was made to do that. Why you would want it to do that, I don't know. I prefer mine to be square, but whatever. I'm fixing it. I'm not making it. So, when I take it apart, I'm going to mark each of these for where they go. So, like, front one, front two, front three. Now also, same thing for these up here, the backrests. Obviously, they're back, but because of the frame being made the way that it is, I don't necessarily trust that those are square. So that means that each of those could be a slightly different dimension. Wider at the bottom, narrower at the top. So, wider gap at the bottom, narrower at the top, which makes the chair narrower at the bottom and wider at the top. So this one could be a little bit longer than this one, and this one a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to mark those two. All right. Top. Middle. Top. All right. So that's the start of this one. I'll keep coming a little bit later on. Give y'all a break. Bye.